Well, welcome to the Friday devotional. John Miller here, the director of shepherding here at Catalina Foothills Church. And before we get into this brief devotional, give you another thought of having a personal devotions on a daily basis. There are some whom I have known who've gotten a lot of delight and blessing from reading a proverb each day and 5 Psalms each day. And I had a friend named Pete Herder who was many years ago, who was very diligent every single year, every single month. He'd read through the entire Proverbs, 31 chapters, and 150 Psalms every month, reading one proverb a day, one chapter a day, and 5 Psalms a day. That's quite an undertaking, but he committed himself to it, and he did it every month and every year that I understand from what he told us, and was a man of great depth of understanding of the Proverbs and the Psalms, and would teach them in Sunday school way back in the day at the Journey Church when I was a youth pastor. There's another method that may interest you. Today we are in Ephesians chapter 6, and we've been talking about the pieces of armor that God has given us as followers of Jesus. And the injunction is to put on the full armor of God. And then he goes through the different pieces of the armor. And sometimes preachers or teachers have neglected that part of the full armor of God also has to do with that which is brought up in verse 18. Because all the implements of the armor, of the Roman armor, are listed until you come to verse 18. And here Paul says, with all prayer. So he's adding, to me, he's adding something to the armor. 2 offensive weapons, the sword, which is the word of God, and I think prayer here, because listen to this, and this is from the New American Standard, which attempts to give the accurate Greek along with some other translations, but it says, with all prayer and petition, pray at all times in the Spirit, and with this in view, be on the alert with all perseverance and petition for all the saints. First note that the word, you might want to, of course, look this up, pause the tape, look it up, but the word all is mentioned, and actually it is in the Greek. It's mentioned 4 times in this one verse, with all prayer. And so he's very serious that we institute prayer as a part of our dealing with the devil. Pray at all times in the Spirit, that is, in the power of the Spirit, not in the flesh, of course, but in the power of the Spirit. And with this in view, be on the alert. Again, earlier he talks about being on the alert against the enemy, the wiles of the devil. With all perseverance, persevere, stay with it, and petition. Another way of talking about how we petition God on behalf of other people, asking God for whatever it may be, asking in petition for all the saints. So in other words, pray for all the believers, the followers of Jesus. Continually think of them, bring them to mind, who are going through various challenges and struggles in life. Bring them before the Father. And then in verse 19, Paul says, and pray on my behalf. So he's telling the Ephesian people, hey, I need prayer too. And if Paul says I need prayer, we need to tell others at various times in our life, hey, we need prayer. I need prayer. Would you pray for me? Because he goes on, he says, and pray on my behalf that utterance may be given to me in the opening of my mouth to make known the boldness of the mystery of the gospel. Just pray that I have the boldness, because and he wouldn't ask for prayer if he didn't have moments where he lacked that boldness. And he says, verse 20, for which I am an ambassador in chains. This gospel, I'm an ambassador in chains. I'm so committed to this, I can do no other, to share the gospel of Jesus. I'm in chains to that in proclaiming I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. So pray for me. I need to represent Jesus well. And there's another prayer request that we need to ask of others when we're going into a challenge in our life, where we want to represent Jesus well in whatever situation it may be. I need prayer today. Asking my wife asking me, you asking a friend, and saying, I appreciate prayer, stepping into this meeting today. I'm going to be undergoing this situation, and I need prayer, and I ask you to pray for me, something we should all be doing. So there's a few thoughts today on this subject of prayer as part of the armor of God. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.